Apologies from Jamie, he can be with me for the filming, but that's because he's doing some good deeds, so I can hardly complain. So he says hi to everybody. So I'll talk about when your partner is being very frustrating. So we've said the principle before that really frustration is when your partner or spouse does something differently to the way that you do it. But I want to give you a tool to try and help you handle it. Let's bring out a couple of scenarios. There's a frustration that your husband is too untidy, that your wife requires too much validation, that your boyfriend always wants to spend time with his mates, that your girlfriend spends too much money. Everyday normative things, nothing terrible or abusive, but really genuinely frustrating for the partner. So a good trick is to play the reverse game. Now in the reverse game, what you do is, instead of doing what we always do when people annoy us, which is to focus entirely on their frustration and vilify it so that there's nothing else good about them except for the one thing that they do badly or that they do wrong and that's annoying to you. Imagine that you're the person with that bad habit and try and humanize it a little bit. So in this story, I'm the messy person. I'm the one who requires too much validation, or doesn't validate enough, whichever one way you want to see it. I'm the one who spends too much time with my mates, so I'm the one who spends too much money. And try and understand what it feels like to be that person. Am I an untidy person because I value mess? No, I'm probably not very well organized, maybe overworked and overtired, value time spent with talking rather than just cleaning up. If I'm the person who doesn't validate enough, maybe I'm not very good at just always saying things in words because I feel things and I think you know how I feel. I don't always translate all my emotions into words. If I'm the person who spends too much time with my friends, maybe it's not because I don't love you, it's because my friends are really important to me and they're a big aspect of my life and they were there before you and I don't intend to lose them because you're in my life, but it doesn't mean I don't love you. If I'm the person who spends money, it's because I love pretty things and it enhances my life and I work hard for my money, so why shouldn't I spend it on things that I find beautiful? When you take the trait that's annoying you and you put it in the context of what the person who's doing that feels, and when you pretend to be that person, suddenly it takes on a much more human aspect. And with it, they can even come a little aspect of maybe I should give them a bit more slack. Maybe I can understand why they behave this way. Maybe just because we're different, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. And if I am that person and I needed friendships, I would expect someone to give me room for my friendships. If I enjoyed spending money, I would hope somebody didn't judge me for that. If I didn't get around to tidying up on time, I would kind of like want a little bit of like slack and not just always to be under pressure to tidy up. If I had a hard time with words, I would hope the person knows how I feel. Ask yourself the question, what would I wish for if I had that bad character trait? What kind of understanding, what kind of slack, what kind of acceptance would I need and wish for if I was the person making that what you call a mistake? And then when you approach your spouse or you feel your frustrations, perhaps give them a little bit more room. Be accepting of who they are, just perhaps as they are as accepting of who you are, and allow yourself to bring some humanity into the bad habit situation to reduce some of that frustration.